seems after a decade we are meeting.
I think with this, all the role players are there.
Except the timer, and I'll take the blame.
Let me start. Very good evening, dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Kondal Reddy. I will be Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all for our 252 meeting of Bhavans Toastmasters Club. Before start the meeting, I will like to give the ground rules of the meeting. Please don't talk about the sex and religious or politics. And if you are not speaking, please you mute your microphones. And while you are leaving or step out the meeting, please switch off your camera and without any distractions. So as a Toastmasters Club, our mission is, we can repeat along with me, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce the meeting has been opened, and I'll hand over the stage to our excellent human being and is a good storyteller also, and a smart teacher as the principal of Smart Indian School. Is our beloved president, distinguished Toastmaster Mahesh Iyer. Please put hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Mahesh Iyer on the stage.
Good evening to all the sanguine Toastmasters. Once upon a time, very long years ago, there was 4-storied building. And it was in a dilapidated condition. When long years ago, I will not say the years because it's suspense. When I went to that place, that was a nostalgia. We, the alumni members of that school, it is a government school. And we took over it, and we have taken the responsibility of developing that knowledge, hub of knowledge, the temple of knowledge, a very small village in Kerala. And we are sponsoring that school now. When we met so many people, we couldn't understand who are they. And I personally I kept a meeting there to understand what they were and what they are now and what they are going to be. This helped me to prove that we are Toastmasters after all, man. Toastmasters and outside Toastmasters. That is there in our blood. Dear Toastmasters, those things will be helping us a lot. Welcome all the guests. And right now, I got a calling bell. I think I've got somebody's pressing the calling bell. Without further ado, let us welcome with your huge round of applause, a huge profiled person till a very humble personality. Our TMOD, TM Vishal Khan, on the stage. Please welcome him and proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President Dtm Mahesh Ayerji, for the wonderful introduction and your warm words of welcoming. Now, before I can start, I would like to just confirm if the agenda has been adopted and if there is any changes. All right, hearing none, we shall proceed with the agenda of our meeting. So, Toastmasters, as I can see, there are not many guests here. We shall proceed straight away with our proceedings. Okay. Well, as you all know, Speakathon is an activity in Toastmasters, and it's a meeting which is dedicated primarily for conducting many speeches and more evaluations. It helps us to organize many. It helps us to enable so that more members can give more speeches and more evaluation. As you all know, today's theme is Toastmaster outside Toastmasters. Now, as we progress through the meeting, I shall be further elaborating and sharing you about the theme of our meeting. So without taking much ado over here, we have a wonderful team which is going to help us conduct our meeting more organized manner. So which I call our tag team. And for that, I would like to first call upon our grammarian. She is a Toastmaster since 2021. I'm very, very a newbie into Toastmasters, but you should see how she has taken role players positions in the Toastmasters. She's currently working as a cost controller in a construction company. She believes that Toastmaster is a platform where we can practice and learn, because Toastmaster helps us all to overcome our mistakes and faults. She also believes that Toastmaster skills is valuable everywhere and not just restricted to a place. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our grammarian, Toastmaster Shruti Sajeev. Toastmaster Shruti.
She lost her connection.
I think we have lost the connection.
Okay.
Toastmaster Shruti, are you there?
No, you can proceed with the
Yeah, let's proceed with
after we will call on you.
Fine. And now I would like to call upon our general evaluator for our meeting. He's an engineer with an MBA in IT. He works for the International School as a senior network and systems administrator. He's a Toastmaster since 2017. And he achieved his DTM in 2020. Currently a member of 2 clubs. Our general evaluator believes that Toastmaster is where we become more wise and knowledgeable by effective communication and taking up leadership roles. As a result, we become more humble, and which helps us to face and solve problems with more responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our general evaluator, Dtm Anil Thomas. Dtm Anil Thomas, over to you.
Thank you so much, TMOD. It is a very wonderful time that we have you as our TMOD today. So my role goes as general evaluator. I'll be watching the meeting from the beginning, and I'll be coming back with my team of evaluators when called upon. And I love that all the successful speakers and evaluators will do wonders today. So let's see how Toastmasters do outside Toastmasters today. So let us warm up ourselves so that we can be good Toastmasters outside Toastmasters. let me give back the podium to our TMO. Thank you. Vishal, I think you're muted.
Yes, that's good.
His grammarian is back.
The grammarian's back? Okay. Well, in the grammarian's back, let's hear from our grammarian. Toastmaster Shruti, all yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. A very good evening to all the dear Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian for the day, my responsibility is to pay close attention to all the speakers. I'll be listening and noting the language usage, which would include both good usage of words as well as a misusage. I would like to introduce the word of the day, which has been already mentioned by Dtm Anil Kumar, and that is zestful. It means full of energy and enthusiasm. It is an adjective. For example, we can use this word in a sentence like, zestful is a perfect word that describes Bhavans Toastmasters club meetings. Please try to use the word of the day, zestful, in your speeches. I will present my grammarian report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti, for explaining the role and also the word of the day. I encourage everybody to please use the word, including myself. Now, I would like to call upon our timer. Well, our timer, she has been an academician from a very early age. That's age 15. She's currently the president and the VP education of the Karachi Toastmasters Club. Now, she believes public speaking requires a lot of confidence and courage to speak in front of the people around you and also in our community. Well, that's what Toastmaster gives you, a platform to sharpen your communication and leadership skill, which helps us and plays a very vital role, especially in team building. Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together for our wonderful timer, Toastmaster Zara Latif.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I'm TM Zerang. As a timer, my role is to remind all the speakers how much time they have to spend on their speech. So I'll be changing my screen with the prompt color of green. You can see my background will be changed. Green on the 5 minutes, then yellow turns to the 6 minutes, and on the 7 minutes, it will be turned to red. So you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech, otherwise you'll be disqualified. And for table topics, you have 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 2 minutes is the last time to be disqualification. 2 minutes, 30 seconds will be showing you the red card. I'll be collecting my report and I'll be jot down my timing, and then after the prepared speech session, I'll inform to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, timer Toastmaster Zara, for explaining of the role. And now we have our R counter. Well, he's a quality assurance professional, a certified ISO 9001 and ISO 22000 consultant. He's an auditor and also a food and safety trainer. He loves spending time with the nature. Well, he achieved his DTM award in 2019. And by the way, let me tell you, who else would know Bhavans Toastmaster better than him? Well, he was the charter member of the Bhavans Toastmasters Club in Covey, was held 5 different club officer positions. He has conducted the court trainings, which is sponsored by the District 20 for all the 7 club officer positions. He is a pathway ambassador and a coordinator for the state of Kuwait. Well, when it comes to judging, he plays a very important role as the coordinator for the chief judge, which he's been doing since 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together for our counter, Dtm Anil Kumar ji. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Vishalji, for that wonderful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, and the wonderful guests, today I'm going to play a role of our counter. How many of you know Shah Rukh Khan, the very famous Indian film actor? No, I'm not going to compare him with Vishal Khan. You must have heard his very famous dialogue from the film Dub. Can you remember that? So my role today is something connected to this dialogue. As our counter, I will be watching the speakers who will be using intentionally or unintentionally repeated words, crutch words, filler words, unnecessary pauses, and I shall be reporting this to the club when I'm called for. The exercise is to support the speakers improve on their accounting. That is the purpose of our counter role. With this, I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you very much, Dtm Anil Kumar ji, for explaining us the R counter, and especially a wonderful example of the Shah Rukh Khan. Now, I have a gentleman who has been very kind enough to take up the role of both Hark Master and also the tech moderator for our meeting. Well, he is the immediate past president of the Bhavans Club, and he is a man of few words, but it is his work that speaks the most. I had the greatest opportunity to work with him in the last DTAC, where he was the contest chair for a very important contest. He believes that Toastmaster skills can be exercised everywhere, not just in Toastmaster environment. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together for our Hark Master and our tech support, Toastmaster Kundal Reddy. I think I just got a message from Toastmaster Kundal that he's having a little change in the a little hang up in the system, but that's all right. We shall proceed with it. No problem.
I'll explain it. I'll explain the role. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. On behalf of our immediate past president, Toastmaster Kundal Reddy, I just want to inform the audience the Hark Master is as good as a listener's role. He will observe all the speakers who come to the podium and ask you questions with related to whatever their speech is concerned about, or it is one on the other way, a test for your listening skills. So keep listening, and at the end of the speech, when at the end of the session, at the time when the general evaluator calls upon, he will be asking questions, and you are all allowed to answer, except the speaker who has been told is asked to keep to mute. Other than that, our role is as a vote counter and the tech host is to draw the facilities. If any speaker would like to share the screen, or if there is a unmute of some other speaker other than the speaker, to mute them. Lastly, but not the least, to float the polls at each and every session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, President Toastmaster LP. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that you've got 10 minutes before our prepared speech section starts in, I would like to thank all our role players for really taking up and abiding by the time. Now, for the interest of our guest, I would like to just, I can see we have a guest here. Somebody has come. Oh, yes. We have Abhi Fatima, yes. Fatima is a guest. Well, Fatima, thank you very much for joining in to Toastmasters meeting. This is the 252 meeting of the Bhavans Toastmasters. And just to talk to you about what Toastmaster is an international, is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public skills, public speaking skills and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. And it is a place where we all learn how we can improve our communication and leadership skills. That's for the gap. So since we are having a bit of time, I would like to elaborate upon our theme of the meeting. Now, the theme of the meeting is Toastmasters outside Toastmasters. Well, let us try to understand this theme with a bit of the syntax in the grammar. If you think the first Toastmaster is an object and the second Toastmaster in our theme is a subject, then I think it gets the whole theme wrong. Toastmasters outside Toastmaster as a person? Yeah. Well, I'm talking about where Toastmaster, the first Toastmaster is the subject and the second Toastmaster is the object, which means how we as Toastmasters behave or conduct ourselves outside and Toastmaster environment. Well, we all know that this is a fantastic place where we learn leadership skills, we become effective communicators. So I was just wondering, how often do we practice these skills outside these environments? For me personally, if I had to speak to a friend of mine, and if I'm in an argument with him, I just let go myself. And I just forget that, hey, Vishal, you have learned the Toastmaster skills of being an effective listener. Why don't I apply that skill when I'm talking to my friend? Now, for all our married couples, here's a nice one. When we are in an argument, will be a too harsh word, but let's say when you are in a discussion, I think it is appropriate to apply a listening skill that we have learned in Toastmasters. We'll continue further on how we apply and how we become Toastmasters outside the Toastmaster environment. Let us now proceed with our prepared speech section. May I call upon the timer to explain the timing rules for all the prepared speech section. I think she's already done it.
Yes,
Yes,
I have
it's
already.
It's done. Okay. So let me just repeat that. It is a minimum of 5 to 7 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. Thank you very much. Now, we would like to now proceed with the prepared speech section. And after every speaker, there will be a 1 minute of silence where we will request our audience to give your feedback to the speaker. Our first speaker is Dtm Anil Kumar. And to evaluate his speech, we have Toastmaster Jomi Stephen John. So I would like to first call upon the evaluator of Dtm Anil Kumar, who is doing the leadership level project 2, project 1. The speech title is Why Blame Others? And now I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Jomi Stephen. Jomi Stephen, please come forward and explain the objectives.
A warm good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters, especially my target speaker, Dtm Anil Kumar Revankar. My target speaker, Dtm Anilji, is embarking on his Pathways Leadership Development Level 2 Project 1. The title of his speech is Why Blame Others? Why Blame Others? His timings is from 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of the project is for the member to observe his time management patterns. I repeat, the title of his speech is Why Blame Others? Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster of the day. Over to you. I think you're muted.
Yes, thank you. Dtm Anil Kumar ji. Why blame others? Why blame others? Dtm Anil Kumar. Over to you.
Time and tide waits for none. A very famous film. Ladies and gentlemen, on all those mesmerizing people in the audience, a warm good evening to all of you. Today, my speech project is on speech timing management. When I was going through the objectives of this project, it took me back to 2012 when I was struggling to have a grip of my food in Toastmasters. Writing a speech, rehearsing it, perfecting it was a Herculean task at that time. But with time, with experience, now it seems it's very easy. It takes a few minutes or few hours to write a good speech and get ready on the stage. Talking of the speech, let me tell you a story. Are you interested in the story? Of course. It was a university event, and the auditorium was jam-packed with students, teachers, professors, parents, girlfriends, boyfriends, enjoying the program. And all of a sudden, from the podium, the speaker invited a gentleman from the crowd. This gentleman was a highly educated and experienced professor. The professor came up on the stage. Since it was not planned, the professor thought for a few seconds and he took the podium. I would like you to say a sentence in English. How many of you would like to try? The audience uproared. Me, we are ready. One of the beautiful girls sitting on the first row, once it was silent, she stood up and said, "Love is the greatest refreshment of life." That was a very humorous way of saying it. The professor continued. Wait, there are some conditions to say that sentence. The condition number one, the sentence should have 10 words. Again, there was a loud applause. Everybody started shouting, me, I would like to do it. Wait. I'm not finished. I said 10 words in a sentence. Each word should be of 2 alphabets. Only 2, like TO2, BB, ME. Again, there were some just full students at the backbenchers. Again, ready. Me. What would they say? But wait. I have still not finished. The last condition. The words must make a meaningful sentence. Now is the time. The noise subsided. The students and the audience were unable to understand how to make a sentence with 2 alphabets, and that too meaningful. Not possible. Very difficult. there was a pin of silence, since there was no answer. Anybody in our auditorium, in the audience, know the answer? Can somebody try? No. Why? Would you like to know the answer? I will take it as yes. The sentence is, if it is to be, 5 words. It's is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. If you want to grow, if you want to succeed, is your mother responsible? Is your parent responsible? Is your boss responsible? Is the environment responsible? Are the politicians responsible? Is your girlfriend responsible? Or a boyfriend responsible? No. Who is responsible? It's you. Yourself. It is you who are responsible for your success and whatever happens in your life. If you want to be happy, it's up to you. If you want to achieve something in life, it's up to you. If you want to achieve a DTM in Toastmasters, it's up to you. You are the boss. Ladies and gentlemen, every individual is the owner of his or her destiny. Practice being proactive. Keep distance from procrastination. Keep focus on the goals you want to achieve in life. You will definitely achieve success. Success is guaranteed. I repeat, if it is to be, it's up to me. Oh.
Thank you very much, Dtm Anil Kumar. Let us now observe a minute of silence to give our feedback to our first speaker, Dtm Anil Kumar.
One minute is over, TMOD.
Thank you, timer, Toastmaster Zera. Well, now we move on to our second speaker, who is doing the level 3 from innovative planning, and it is his first project. You are sweet enough. No, sorry, my mistake. Our second speaker is doing his level 1, project 3 from the Pathway Team Collaboration, Trickery. Now, he is a Toastmaster since 2019. He's currently the Vice President Education for our very own club, Bhavans Toastmasters Club, who has completed 5 pathways. He believes that the skills that we learn in Toastmaster helps us to present ourselves. And to do his evaluation, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Dtm Sunil Thomas. DTM Sunil Thomas, please take.
Good evening, all successful Toastmasters. Good evening to all of you again. My target speaker, Dtm Latif, is undergoing his team collaboration. I think he's doing the second speech of the project. So the purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of the speech for the member to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech evaluation speech. So that is what I think he already done a project and he's going to apply the results from the last project. So his project title is Trickery and the time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Dtm Latif.
A scout leader, a cricket team captain, a volunteer who is always involved in transportation and catering service for the community. I was so much involved in this that slowly and gradually, I somehow miss out the most important thing of life. And that life thing was my family, my personal growth, and respect to what I'm working for. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. You might be thinking, what went wrong when I'm doing so much of volunteerism? Fellow friends, the only part which I missed out was not giving equivalent time to my family, not giving the most important necessary time to my work. And on the other side, while I was seeing my fellow friends who were working or involved in so many practices, but sometimes they do excuse saying, I have a family commitment, or I have some work which I cannot make it to this volunteerism, was contradictory to mine, as I used to leave those things and go for the community service. While I was off for 6 months break, that too without any salary, I had to look into my life journey. And what I found out, that people who balanced their life were far better than me, who even forgot the spelling of bank balance. Isn't it interesting? The art of living is how to balance your life, how to maintain time and time again, reevaluate things of much more necessity. I came to a conclusion at the time when I see they were giving more gratitude, more value, more importance, not to the volunteers who are available, to the donors who had some money. Interestingly, no money means just background people. The food which I cooked or I invested in, the time, the transport was all in between or sideline to the person who was just volunteering with the service of donation of money. It cost me some expense. It cost me many things. It cost my so many career life. It cost my life for 40 years. And finally, when I wake up from this call, I realize that I have missed out or lost many things. So I prepared a journal. So what are those tricky things which makes me deception of my work. So I step out from scouting. I step out from those working volunteer service. I step out myself from transportation. Now, if I have a spare time, I enjoy Netflix, or I invest all my time to my work. Just because I did not pay attention to that 40 years doesn't mean that future is not for me. Finally, I got to know that I earned a respect in my company. Those volunteerism, yes, I do not disagree, or I don't want to discourage people who give a lot of time in this investment of volunteerism. But my position here is to prepare a balanced life. So I come out with 4 different ideas. First thing is, what is most important in life? Is it my family? Yes. Is it my health? Yes. Is it my growth? Yes. And last but not the least, which carries everything, is my job. I maintain these 4 types of things in life for next 6 months. And today, as I stand, I gain value in my growth. I do volunteerism, but only when I am available. This does not hurt any of my work, my family, myself. Now, this is important because over here, all of you, this is particularly fit one solution for all. I here emphasize, while you acknowledge the world most volunteerism things, but there are volunteers who ask you to motivate yourself from others, who ask you to think on others. But if you just grow inside yourself, if you just introspect, you will find a different you. And that is what I call a trickery thing, because then this will deceive you from everything else than yourself. You will be a respectful person to yourself. When you see the mirror, you feel, yes, that's the power I can change. I am available for my family. I can evaluate my growth. If you keep this in mind, possibility of a simple embracement where you are at the moment is the moment, your love journey, you enjoy the way. Just resume for whatever has passed to the living moment, and the rest is all you will enjoy. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now observe a minute of silence for a feedback Toastmaster.
One minute is over, TMOD.
Thank you, timer. Well, Now it's the time for our third speaker. He is the immediate past president of the first Toastmasters Club in Madagascar. He is currently working to become an entrepreneur and completing his degree in the discipline of computer science. He loves playing soccer, reading books, and plus he also believes that Toastmaster skills can be best exercised when you're outside the Toastmaster environment. Our third speaker is Toastmaster Lalani, who's doing his level 3 project 1 from innovative planning. The title of his speech is "You Are Sweet Enough." But before that, I would like to introduce his evaluator, who is a full-time Toastmaster, feels that Toastmaster skills are applied at each and every moment of our lives, both professionally and personally. He believes especially the evaluation skills helps us in all the moments to understand others very well. All the projects done so far is the after effect of his personal life, like speeches, inspirational quotes, event management skills, and also his DTM along with his HPL. Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together for the evaluator, Dtm Mahesh Iyer. Dtm Mahesh Iyer, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Dtm Modi, for the lovely words. Who doesn't want to be sweet? You are sweet enough. Let us all welcome to a thunderous applause a sweet personality who is going to say the types of persuasive speeches. And he's going to deliver a persuasive speech in front of us. Let us all be so sweet to listen to these sweet words from the sweet person, Lalana. The stage is yours. Back to Dtm Modi.
General Evaluator Dtm Mahesh Iyer ji. Third speaker, Toastmaster Lalani, with the speech title, "You Are Sweet Enough." You are sweet enough. Toastmaster Lalani, over to you.
Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, I'm so grateful to be here with you today. And thank you so much for this warm introduction. Did you know that sugar is bad for your health as cigarettes? Well, we all know that smoking is one of the worst things that we can do for our health. But just as cigarette, which is linked to preventable mortality diseases such as lung cancers and heart disease, researchers have found that consuming added sugar leads to similarly deadly conditions. According to the 2016 reports in Journal of Health, too much sugar leads to a variety of chronic diseases, such as liver disease, diabetes, and obesity, and even cancer. Toastmasters, what are you doing outside Toastmaster? Are you taking care of your health? I've spent some time to experience sugar diet, and I would be glad to share with you some of my experiences throughout these 3 months. If there is a baker in the room, then he's going to kill me this evening. All right, so sugar diet. Did you know also that too much sugar impacts our energy? If you would like to be more zestful, think a little bit of it. A researcher who is named Menta Trees, a PhD of Humboldt University of Berlin, said, in his report, he said that sugar might have a huge impact in our health, in our energy. It can make us more tired. What is it about? During my experience, as a soccer player or as a football player. We used to have here a match of 20 minutes. But before that, I get easily tired within the first 3 minutes of playing, or even 5 minutes at the latest. I was trying to find ways, and I found that this is a very great idea. So eating too much sugar, after the sugar diet, I can stand more zestful until the end of the match to stand for my team, just by avoid eating sugar. Secondly, sugar also have several impacts in damaging our skin. The most famous one is the premature aging effect. Sugar breaks down collagen and elastin in our body. And when it occurs, your skin may start to look wrinkled. It looks saggy, dry, and dull. So I'm sure that you do not want that to happen to your skin. So today, let's start to go on a sugar diet. Let me ask you this question. How much sugar do you take every day? I would like you to think of it, but first thing to do is let's try to avoid sugar. Let's try to avoid sweetened beverages, sweeteners, sugar breakfast foods, or candies. Let's leave them all. Instead, let's eat vegetables, fruits, or proteins. I'm not sure what are your main dishes in your country, but here we used to have rice and meats, especially in Madagascar. So what you can do, what I did is like, I went for 3 months, and you might think it's too boring without eating sugar. Sugar is too good. But let's try to avoid this. If you can't do it, it requires more self-discipline. You can devote 1 day within a week just to break the rules, but within a week, you avoid sugar or just reduce your sugar intakes. You might also think that our body needs sugar. Yes, but let's eat fruits instead. And I think that vegetables can have sugar as well, as we need glucose for our brain or maybe for our health. So I would like you to imagine yourself to have more energy. You can be more productive at work. You can be more energetic when you are playing or exercising. You'll be more healthier. Let's avoid eating sugar. Also, you can have smoother skin. And here we are not talking about cosmetic. We are talking about health. You will look younger. What do you think about that? People spend a lot of money just to take care of their skin, but there is an easier alternative, and it's sugar diet. So to conclude my speech, sugar can seriously impact your health, and going on a sugar diet can help you to have more energy and reduce your aging effects. So I encourage you today to go on a sugar diet. One of the best things you can do for your health is to go on sugar diet. By changing what you eat and how you eat, you can drastically change your health. So I say you are already sweet enough. Let's not take sugar anymore. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Lalani. All right, now we would like to
Can you
observe
correct
Lalani. Yes. All right. We will now move on to a minute of silence and observe a minute of silence for a feedback to our third speaker, Toastmaster Lalani.
One minute is over. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Simon, for that indication. Well, now let's move on to our fourth speaker. Our fourth speaker is a Toastmaster since 2015. He has served in the Karachi Toastmasters as Sergeant at Arms, Vice President Education twice, and also the President. He has served to the district as an admin manager. When asked where else can the Toastmaster skills be applied, he replied, as he's working to evaluate work of his subordinates, and also he applies the same skills in his family, on his children. But even more interestingly, when it comes to applying his skills with his wife, he somehow thinks it fails. Ladies and gentlemen, our fourth speaker is Toastmaster Imran Rana, who is doing the elective of third level from the presentation mastery with the speech title, A Dream or an Ice Cream. But before that, I would like to call upon his evaluator, who has joined Toastmasters in August 2020 with the objective to continue his life commitment to education and learning. He's working with a community organization in Madagascar as the executive officer and completed his MBA in 2000. He believes that we can utilize Toastmaster skills in all our professional and non-professional activities. Toastmaster skills has personally helped him in family too, as well as applying the same with his son as a mentor. He feels that personally he uses the stories from his family and the personal moments, which gives him a great reflection for his speeches. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our evaluator for the fourth speaker, Toastmaster Kareem Nagani. Toastmaster Kareem, over to you.
Thank you, TM. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. So today it's my honor. I know TM Imran from Karachi Toastmaster. It's an honor to evaluate him. He's kind of like a brother, like a mentor to me. So today we are looking for connect with storytelling. This is his project, and he will be sharing some personal story by storytelling. And the purpose of the statement is the purpose of the speech statement is the purpose of this project for a member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that it is a story. So good luck, TM Imran. We're always looking forward to hear from you. Over to you, Toastmaster today.
Toastmaster Kareem. I'd like to call upon our fourth speaker, Toastmaster Imran Rana, with a speech titled, A Dream or an Ice Cream? A Dream or an Ice Cream? Toastmaster Imran Rana, over to you.
Thank you so much. Before starting the speech, I would like to confirm that I'm audible and visible.
Yes, Toastmaster Rana, you are audible and visible.
Okay, great. Life is a bittersweet for most of us, but it takes on a special flavor of weirdness when you are a student and a married person at the same time. In which case, life can become ridiculously not easy. It is like being stranded in a burning house which is encircled by wolves and there is no escape. At one moment, you are a responsible husband and a father, genuinely managing relationship and professional responsibilities together. And on the next moment, you have a backpack full of books and you sit down to study just like a 5-year-old. You think you had it bad when you were in school? Nosy teachers, expectant parents, envious relatives and friends. Do you think they had made your result day miserable? Welcome to the world of post-school exams. Here, the stakeholders in your exams includes your boss, their spouses, your spouse, your in-laws and their spouses, your colleagues and their spouses, your acquaintances and their spouses, your friends and their spouses, and your batchmates who have cleared their exams years ago, and now they're sitting in a fancy offices and only call you to ask, ICMA kahan tak pahuncha? What's the status of your ICMA? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, 6 years back, the exam result decided to surprise me on my birthday. It was October and the day was Saturday. I just got free from my ACMA exams and awaited the result. One of my friends called me and told me that the result was going to be announced anytime today. I was a little surprised and at the same time depressed too. My wife, who usually forgot my birthdays, somehow remembered this time. So she offered me an ice cream treat as a birthday celebration. In the evening, we went to Cremello, an ice cream parlor near to my house, where we shared our love for chocolate. That was the flavor we had decided on. I went to the counter and asked for the chocolate ice cream, all the while not being able to take away my eyes from the mobile phone. Imagine a situation where you are about to sign your wedding papers and you received a message. You check the message and it flashes on. Congratulations, you have just won a cancer diagnosis. Same situations happened to me. At the moment when I took the ice cream, the message bell rang. Bling! My heartbeat started running very fast like an Arabian horse. And I could even hear the sound. At that moment, I was unable to decide whether to check the message or to run away and start a new life in a new city, or to throw the mobile phone in the toilet and flush it out, or to pretend to having a heart attack. And my wife was celebrating my recovery and forget everything. In the end, I took the mobile phone and checked the message. It was from Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan. And the message states that audit and assurance paper F. As you can imagine, fail wasn't the only word I could think of at that moment. Few drops landed on my hand. No, I wasn't trying. The ice cream was melting. I thought for a while, it's foolish to cry over a spilled milk. Now, whatever I do, it won't change the result. So I decided to save the ice cream and said to myself, better luck next time, the future is mine. While enjoying the ice cream, I was unable to control my laughing. My wife, who was constantly observing the whole situation, so she curiously asked a series of questions. Honey, why are you acting so weird? Why were you checking your mobile again and again and again? And what was that message? Honey, what's so funny? Am I missing something? I stopped eating, looked into her eyes, and told her gently, sweetheart, I'm failed once again. For a moment, she was shocked. When she saw me smiling, she started giggling, and we ended up with bouts of laughter. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, they say that time is the biggest healer. The painful memory of my exam failure gradually faded away and becomes something to laugh about. Whereas joyful memory becomes part of your life. They are your best friend forever with you in times of sorrow and pain. Anything that happens in life become a memory. It's up to us whether we make it a source of pain or make it a source of gain. In the words of Tim, sometimes life takes away your nice dream. Never forget, always remember, there's always an ice cream. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran, for your speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let us observe a minute of silence to give a feedback to Toastmaster Imran.
One minute is over. TMOD.
Thank you, timer, Toastmaster Zera. It's time for our final speaker, speaker number 5, Toastmaster Kareem. He's doing his second project elective, level 3 from effective coaching level. The speech title is Dependence to Interdependence. Before that, I would like to call upon his evaluator to explain to us the objectives. I'd like to call upon Dtm Anil Kumar, the evaluator of our 5th speaker, Toastmaster Kareem. Over to you, Dtm Anil Kumar ji.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Vishal. Welcome once again to our test speaker, Toastmaster Kareem Mignan. The purpose of his speech is for the member to demonstrate his understanding on how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. That is the purpose of his speech. The title of the speech is Dependence to Interdependence. The speech will be timed. It will be 5 to 7 minute speech. I wish all the best to the Toastmaster Kareem for his presentation of his speech today. Over to the Toastmaster day.
I can start, TM.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Kareem. Dependence to interdependence. Dependence to interdependence. Toastmaster Kareem, over to you.
Thank you, TM. Thanks for the wonderful explanation. So dependence to interdependence. Now, when this words comes to us in our mind, what do we think about this particular subject? I will show you a small presentation. And I'm sure that by end of this presentation, you will take something with you at home. And you will identify that are you dependent or you are interdependent. Let's take this challenge before start the presentation. So you can see my screen, all of you. Okay, let me just make sure that you know if the sound can be shared. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and dear guest, today I'm talking about this particular subject, dependence and interdependence. And I want to show you a video first. And I know that you know these movies. There are some clips of the movies and it shows a particular scene. I would like to see a reaction after you watch this video. Dependence, yes. The word suggests the guy was dependent on somebody on the top. Independence. You remember this movie? I think all the people who are aged 30 to 40 years old, probably you remember this movie. Our childhood favorite.
Are those microwave dinners any good?
Independence. Now the third, interdependence.
I'm going to give you the first hit. Now, come on. He's coming.
If you are 50 and 60, you remember.
He's shorter than you. A couple inches shorter than you. Aim for 12 o'clock. Aim for 12. Aim for 12. Okay, let's go. 11 o'clock. Trickle right, 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 and left, trickle left, trickle left, and right.
Interdependence. Really sorry to show you violence in the end. That was my requirement. I didn't have any other example. But this video is showing a blind man helped by a person who can see, but who cannot hear. There is a very famous movie you can search on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, today's subject, I took it from this particular book, which one book changed my life. Changed my life because this one book tells me every day how I am looking at my professional and my personal life. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Stephen Covey's the main important subject is about how to be effective. And when he talks about 7 habits and effectiveness, it's a big subject. We can talk about it in a later presentation. But one of his subject was about getting a continuum maturity from a level of dependence to independence to interdependence. Now, dependence is what? Dependence is what? That when we born, what happened? We are dependent on our parents. We are kids. Everybody is looking for some help. So the attitude of dependence is always blaming you always. So what Stephen Covey talks about effectiveness, that one attitude in your life is dependence. We always think that other person will help, then we can grow. Look at the example of Toastmasters. Toastmasters, there are people who are always looking for a mentor. That's a good thing. But they never take the initiative by themselves to find something. Then the mentor tells them, go independent, go to the pathways, read your projects. You can become, what is the next level? Independent. I can do it. Self-reliance. Can get what they want through your own efforts. I'm independent. I need nobody to help me. I can do anything. I can do wonders. But if you want to improve, follow the law of nature. Law of nature says that you all are connected. You all are interdependent. So if you are interdependent, that means we can do it. If I need help, today I called the Vice President Education of Bhavans because I needed his help. We can cooperate. We can combine our efforts. All the nature in society is interdependent. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the message from this book. Inshallah, in future, I'll do the whole presentations on 7 habits. So look forward for that presentation. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kareem, for a wonderful speech on dependence to interdependence. Let's observe a minute of silence to give our feedback to our 5th speaker, Toastmaster Kareem Begani. Thank you, timer, for the indication of 1 minute. Well, it is now time to conclude our prepared speech session. But before that, we would like to vote for the best speaker. And for that, I would like to call upon our timer to give the report on who are the speakers that have qualified. Timer, Toastmaster Zara, please
Yeah.
give
Thank
us your
you.
report.
Thank you, TMOD. And I'm grateful and to see all the zestful speakers on the podium. All the speakers have qualified. It's a fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know, but it's a lucky day. So should I give you the separate timing or you want the only qualification?
It's all right. No,
Okay.
no.
So
If
everybody
nobody is
qualified.
everybody
Yes.
qualified.
So we can vote
So now
for
we will.
everyone.
So thank you very much, Toastmaster Zara, for giving us the timing report. And it's such wonderful. And I think it's not a coincidence because speakers in Bhavans Toastmasters always make it on time. So that's not a coincidence. I'm very happy about it. So we are now moving on to the on the voting for the best speaker. Are we going to have a poll settled? So, okay. So we have a poll right in front of you. The first speaker, Dtm Anil Kumar, Toastmaster Latif, Toastmaster Lalani, Toastmaster Imran, and Toastmaster Kareem. We'll have a minute to vote. And in the meantime, can you take away co-host right from Toastmaster Kundal so that even he can vote?
Actually, he's the tech host.
Acha, tech host. Okay. So
Yeah, I got all the results. It's ending the poll. You can take over.
all right.
Yeah, the poll is over. Thank you.
The poll is over. Thank you very much, everyone, for your feedback and encouraging our speakers. Now, the interest of time, we are supposed to, I will continue the theme, elaborating this theme after the evaluation section, because right now we are in time for the general evaluation, which is 7:20. So I would like to now call upon the speech evaluators for their speech evaluation to their respective speakers. The speech evaluation timing is 2 to 3 minutes. Timer, could you please explain that? Or is it done already?
No, I'll explain. Thank you, TMOD. The evaluation timing is 2 minutes green screen, then 2 minutes 30 seconds is yellow screen, and 3 minutes is my red screen. Thank you. Please spin the timer while doing that. So thank you. Over to you. You are muted, sir.
Okay,
please say it again.
Thank you very much. The evaluation is a very important part in our lives, as well as in our meeting, which is a very integral part, and a critical feedback is absolutely important for our betterment and becoming a better leader and a better communicator. For that, I would like to now call upon our general evaluator, DTM Sunil Thomas, to please call in his evaluators for the respective speakers. Over to you, DTM Sunil Thomas.
Thank you so much, TMOD. It was really a wonderful day. We had a multiple variety, what you say, ice creams, and a lot more to come. So let's see how our evaluators are going to treat these things. So I'm going to call upon each evaluators to evaluate our speakers. So let us see the first evaluator, Jomi, evaluating Dtm Anil Kumar. So, Jomi, you can start.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Yeah.
Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters. Dtm Anilji, time and tide waits for nothing. Absolutely right. A perfect way to start your speech. So very apt. You mentioned that when you brought us back to our initial days in Toastmasters, when making a speech was so very cumbersome, so very time consuming. You says that now, according to you, now it's easy for you. But trust me, Anilji, even now I take a lot of time. Sometimes halfway through the speech, I change my topic also. We are the owners of our destiny. We are the owners of our destiny. Again, very much true. If we want to do well, we have to work. You cannot blame anybody. Our parents, our co-workers, anybody, meet anybody under the sun. Only we. It reminds me of the adage, try your best and leave the rest to God. Try your best, but leave the rest to God. But you have to try your best. Without that, even God cannot do anything. Now I'll just get into the I'll get initially to the positive parts. Excellent topic. Good voice clarity. As usual, use the stage or use the screen space, whatever you had, very well. The body language was also good. But what I felt was this excellent topic that you had could have been better explained. Better explained in the sense that it is something like getting the audience glued. I never felt it like something like being glued to it at least. So there was something which I felt you could have found a better story. This is my view of it. You could have found a better story or something like that. But overall, excellent. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Jomi. The next, our speaker was Latif Mansoor Ali, and the speech is going to be evaluated by Dtm Anil Thomas, just none other than me. So let me evaluate Latif. Latif actually realized so many things in his life, and he adapted after 40 years. The trickery he found out through the lessons he learned. So he was a scout, he was a cricketer, he was a captain in cricket, and he was doing community services. And finally, he learned that the time and effort he spent on all these things are not giving him what he wanted. So finally, he decided to go back to the 4 factors of his life, nothing but family, his life itself, and the growth of his life, and the job what he is doing. So what he wanted to narrate, he did very well. Hope everyone understood, and it is so many things to learn from that story as well. So let us see how the story went. He had a well narrated story, and there were a lot of things to take home. He narrated it in such a way that people can be glued to it, and he tried to give a message at the end also. So totally, he was succeeded in doing his work well. What I noticed, which he can improve, is always we say there should be a structure is needed. I felt that the structure is somewhere missed, because I noticed that there was no proper beginning or the body, because he did it in a total, he started with the story and he ended the story. So there could have been a little element of the structure, which we always say in Toastmasters. So please try to also follow the structure, because when we try to speak, make that formality of a structure. The second thing is, you could have made a little bit of a drama, because even though it was a story of life, could have been better when you had a little drama in between, so that what happened or what made you to change your course of something you could have brought some anecdote or something which is change your life. It would have been more effective for the speakers. And finally, you succeeded in so many things, but one more thing I noticed was you could have added a little bit sound modulation. So if you added sound modulation, if you added a structure to the overall speech, and finally, if you had an element of drama in it, it would have been a much more better to the audience. So finally, let me conclude in a nutshell. It was a well narrated and a it was a well narrated story of whatever you needed to succeed in this project was done. But finally, if you add the things which I told you, it will be much better. And all the best for your other projects. Thank you, Latif. Back to the general evaluator. So the third speech was by Dtm Lalena. I think I correctly told his name. And it was evaluated by Dtm Mahesh Iyer. So let us welcome Dtm Mahesh Iyer to evaluate the sugary coated, the problem in sugar, whatever. Let us see. Mahesh Iyer.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Don't you feel that a Toastmaster is always a Toastmaster? It is just like having an hallucination once you take in everything as a Toastmaster. And Lalena, my target speaker, was an ideal example for that. Look at his presentability as a sugary personality, and his smile is an icing on the cake. We all like the ice creams, especially we will have our own flavors. But today's ice cream was really yummy because it was full of sugar. Your introduction was really appreciable. With your introduction, we have raised our eyebrows and we were sharpening our ears to hear you what you're talking about. I heard cigar is injurious to your health, but later on, I came to know that it was not cigar, but it was only sugar. Cigar and sugar, both are injurious if it's crossing the limit. Your introduction, marvelous introduction. And it told about all the things which are sweet. We all love to have sweets. We will have our own favorite sweets too. When you told, we had gone long years back when we were in colleges, or even now also, if you offer a sweet plate, a plate of any kind of sweet, we will take it. And you said that all those things are really good. But if you are a sugar personality, means a sugary personality, means you are so sweet. Why you won't have sugar? That was the message. And in the conclusion, you told that if you are sweet enough, you are sweet enough, don't have more sugar. That punch was really good for us. It was a thought for us. Dear, so successful Toastmasters, he told that if you are a sugary personality, if you are having sweet gestures, appearance, and wordings, no need to have more sweet. My suggestions for your improvement, the other side of the coin is, please don't read the speech. The reading of speech will be discontinued, continuing your connection with the audience. And you can have the podium properly used. You can have the podium because you are in a virtual platform. At the same time, try to interact more, ask questions so that all the audience can be always with you. With these suggestions, if you can follow it, try to have a mirror practice. You will definitely excel in your more sugary words next time. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Dtm Mahesh here. So now let's have another dose of sugar from the ice cream. How it melted, how it really melted. Let us see it from the evaluator. So Dtm Imran Rana's speech is going to be evaluated by Karim Meghani. So let us welcome Karim to evaluate Imran.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I said in the beginning when I introduced that it will be an honor to hear Dtm Imran. It was an honor. I was keep guessing from the beginning that where he's taking us. There were some surprises in the content which makes me like this. What is trying to say? Cancer diagnosis, melting ice cream somewhere. I was just thinking, you know, where he is taking us, where he wants to take us. It's about failure. That was the end. Great job, sir. Excellently done. And it's the good speeches for me. It's always something that, you know, it's make people guessing till the end because it keeps everyone engaged. The content was great. It was a personal story. Whenever it is a personal story, it is always good. And I hear from you and other mentors of mine also that how personal stories really change our speeches, really make impact in our speeches. You took a story which is very personal to you. It was good. You've seen that, you know, this story was not good. It was not a smiling story. It's a failure, but you make us smile. That was a great message. Something to improve on. Your body movement, by the way, the good things, your body movement, voice modulation, fantastic. When you talk about the ice cream melting things, I felt in the end of your speech, you become little hesitant. And I think that, you know, because you were going in a wonderful flow, and in the end, you just lost your, I will not say confidence, but it's kind of, you know, you feel a little hesitant. And that make the conclusion little, not vague, but it was okay. It can be improved. Otherwise, the content is great. This speech can be a great international speech contest speech also. So I wish you good luck, sir. And you are always a great mentor, great leader. Keep growing and keep improving. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Karim, for that nice and sweet evaluation. So let's now go to the next speaker, who is none other than Karim Meghani. I loved his habits of highly effective people. So let us see how effective it was. Let us call upon our Dtm Anil Kumar ji to evaluate Karim. Anil ji.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Dtm Sunil ji. A warm good evening once again to all the jestful audience. A special good evening to my test speaker, Toastmaster Karim Meghani. As a DTM, when I evaluate a speech, I always look at the very finer points, and I divide the evaluation into two parts. The first part, what I call is sugar-coated evaluation. And the second part is sugar-free evaluation. So let's go to the sugar-coated evaluation. Toastmaster Meghani, let me congratulate you for accomplishing the purpose of the speech. This is one of the points which I always look into a speaker as an evaluator, whether the speaker accomplished the requirement of the speech or not. If it is done, I always congratulate. If not, I put up my point saying that speaker so-and-so, I would recommend you to repeat that project. But you did not give me that opportunity. Well done. Kudos to you. Today we have seen Toastmaster Karim presenting a speech incorporating PowerPoint presentation. That was the requirement. And what a PowerPoint presentation. Simple, easy to understand with very few words. Exactly what I wanted to see today in your speech presentation. Well done. Not only the speech, not only the slides were beautifully designed, you also incorporated in that video clips. And there too, with the great meaning. And it was connected to your speech. Wonderfully, wonderfully arranged. I really love that part. You were very confident when you were delivering the speech. That body language, that smile continued during the full 7-minute speech. This is your USP. Now coming to the second part, that is sugar-free evaluation. As an evaluator, I love the speaker to be on the podium, whether it's virtual or physical. This is something I really missed out today. This is the one of the area which we have to work on, whether it's physical or virtual. The second point which I would like to highlight, the slides were done very beautifully, but I felt the smoothness of managing those slides was missing. You could try using a pointer, practice a few times, and you can do much better than what you have done today. To summarize, a beautiful speech delivered with accomplishing the required objectives, a confident speaker on the stage, well-narrated story, and 2 areas to take care of: presentation technique on the stage and the smoothness. All the best for your next speech. Over to you.
Thank you so much for that sugar-coated and sugar-free evaluation from Dtm Anil Kumar ji. Well done. Now let us call upon our young engineer to do a successful grammarian's report. Let us welcome Shruti Sajeev to do the grammarian's report.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the warm welcome. A very good evening again once to all the Toastmasters and guests in today's meeting. Regarding the performance according to grammarian report, first I would like to highlight about the usage of the words. Today's speakathon was a gold mine of good usages of word and phrases. So there was honors of destiny, mesmerizing people, pin drop silence, if it is to be, it is to be, voluntarism, contradicting, art of living, gratitude, wake up call, introspect, thunderous upload, bittersweet, like an Arabian horse, cry over spilt milk, bowls of laughter, continuum maturity, law of nature, fortunate or unfortunate, so very apt, cumbersome, audience glued, anecdote, conclude in a nutshell, sugary personality, sugar-coated evaluation, sugar-free evaluation. There was a lot of sugar and it was really a wonderful meeting. And regarding the people, the Toastmasters who use the word of the day, we have Dtm Sunil Thomas, Dtm Imran Rana, Dtm Sahara Latif, Dtm Mahesh Iyer, Dtm Anil Kumar, Dtm Latif, and I don't know, like I missed the beginning portion of the meeting, so I'm not sure whether someone else also used the word. And the bad usage of the words, all of you are so well and seasoned Toastmasters. I was finding it very hard to find any mentionable bad usage of words. It was a very good and a very knowledgeable and very effective session, and that's like the report what I have to present. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Shruti. it was like how you design your projects. You did it very well. The grammarian report also was well done, well tailored. Thank you so much. So let us now look towards the timer to know whether all our evaluators are qualified so that we can go for a voting or the next step. Sarah, are all our evaluators qualified?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Yes, all the evaluators has been qualified and we all can go for vote for them. Thank you.
Thank you. So let us call upon our host, our immediate past president, Contal Reddy, to do the voting. Well done.
Yes, please, that voting screen on your voting ballot on your screen. Please vote for the best evaluator. I hope all are the voted and I got the clear results. With this, I am ending the poll.
Thank you, host, our immediate past president, Contal Reddy. So let's move on with our evaluation part. So now let's call upon the next evaluator who is counting on the mistakes, the non-sugary coated part of our speech. Let us welcome Dtm Anil Kumar to read about our R-counters. Let's see how he do this non-sugary coated work.
Thank you once again to our General Evaluator Dtm Sunil Thomas for that introducing me again to the audience. Good evening, the jestful audience. R-counter. Do you know how much sugar, that is the cane sugar, is best for a human being? Only 9 teaspoons, not tablespoons. But the bad thing is, out of these 9 teaspoons, 7 teaspoons are coming from the foods which we should not consume, like soft drinks, packed foods, this and that. That leaves us just 1 teaspoon to take. But in fact, what we do is we take more than that. Today's R-counter report is something like that. We had that 9 teaspoons, but what was remaining was only 1 teaspoon. Confused? No. Let me congratulate to all the Toastmasters and the role players who were on the podium today for the wonderful job they have done today by not giving me an opportunity to catch them with the repeated words, with crunch words. Special kudos to all. Now, having said that, my special congratulations to 2 speakers, Toastmaster Zahra Latif and Toastmaster Vishal Khan. Maybe you have not noticed it, but as an R-counter, I did notice you are about to use repeated words, but if you got hold of that, you managed it. This proves that you are really inculcating the skills you learned in Toastmasters. R-counter is only for that. As a human being, as a speaker, it's quite natural to use repeated words or crunch words, but when you are a Toastmaster and experienced Toastmasters, you learn how to control that. And today I observed that in 2 speakers. Special congratulations for both of you. You have done, but I'm very happy about it. Now, Toastmaster Kareem was the only person I could fish out. Yes, he also tried, but he has to work out on repeated words like so, and of course, he's using R2. But surprisingly, when he's delivering a speech, he controls them. So I strongly believe he can do better. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple to control this by practicing your speech and reducing your pace of delivering your speech. With these two things, you can easily control these R's and repeated words or filler words. We can do that. With these few words of advice to all the Toastmasters, I return back to the podium to the General Evaluator, Dtm Sunil Thomas. Over to you.
This is what we expect from a quality control inspector who do food inspection always, who can find out how much bad sugar is available in the good sugar. Thank you. Well done. So now let's call upon our Hawk Master, who was voluminously working towards getting questions to ask to us. Let us invite our host and Hawk Master, Team Kondal Reddy, to question us about today's meeting.
Once again, good evening, everyone. I hope you are all enjoyed the seasoned Toastmasters speeches. I enjoyed that. I hope you are all with that. So before going to my role of today, Hack Master, I missed the responsible explanation of the role. So this is very easy. How we are interestingly listen the speaker speeches and how far we are attention of those messages they are going to deliver to us. So I request everyone to open your mics as well as your cameras to see each other to compete the listening skills test. So all ready? I hope you can enjoy to participating the question and the answers. So the first question goes to who speak this, and I'll ask the question, please fill the gaps. Art of living is, what is the secret of art of living? Anybody can answer? What is the secret of art of living and who spoke this?
Dtm Latif.
Yes. What is the secret of that?
Balanced life.
Yes. How to balance your life. It's the great. We take our message that we all need to have the balance of life. So what is the 4 things he balanced in his life?
Your growth,
family, life, growth, and job.
Wow, great. This is the great for the listening, how he's listen and how he's take away this family, health, and growth and job. This is the 4 responsibility. If you enjoy, if you don't, you will be enjoy your life. The next goes to, if it is to me, it is up to me.
Anil Kumar.
This is the message who given us Toastmaster. So, which here he narrated his story is related to his story. He took a long bag and here is related to say the story. Anybody notice that?
There's a question for the audience.
Yes.
10 2-letter words.
Yeah, no, which year this story is narrated, I mean, is related to that year. We memorized that year and is related to the story. So it's on 2012, he went that and he's narrated the story to relate to this story. So who was this asked this question when he was in the podium? He mentioned his profession. Who was that this asked the question to audience? What is the profession of that person?
Professor?
Yes, it is a professor. Is that event is happening in a university. So it is to me to. It is up to me to develop on myself. So next question goes to, what is the favorite flavor of Toastmaster Imran Rana's ice cream?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yes, it is a chocolate. Great. And Toastmaster Karim is referred a book. Who's the author of that book?
Covey. The last time I remember.
Covey.
Stephen or Covey?
Stephen Covey.
Stephen Covey.
Yes, good. So, better luck for next time. Nothing can change the results.
Dtm Imran Rana. Dtm Imran Rana.
Yes, Dtm Imran Rana has used this quotation. So the next question goes to, how many years it took to realize this Toastmaster?
40 years.
40.
40 years it took for this, realizing for what he's doing and how he's changed his life. It's a great to have such, anytime can be realized what we are doing and how we can change our life into a good human being. So there is many questions I can ask. Who said we are the honors to our destiny? Who said this quote? We are honors our destiny.
Karim?
It's Evaluator.
It's an evaluator.
It's an Evaluator.
Dtm Anil.
Jomi Stephen said it.
Yeah.
So with this, I think I can conclude this. And Toastmaster Journey is a continuous learning platform, and we can personal and professional development we can achieve. Thank you for participating for my Toastmaster role. So thank you. Over to General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmasters, Sunil Thomas.
Thank you so much, Reddy ji. As you are a safety engineer, we can understand that how carefully you are related to safety and also with Toastmastery. Thank you so much for your thought-provoking questions, and we all were happy to answer your questions as well. Thank you so much. So now it's time for the general evaluation report. So good evening all successful Toastmasters, outside Toastmasters. Let us see how we fared in this meeting today. It is not an easy task to conduct a speech marathon or a speakathon like this. To find speakers, evaluators, and role players is not an easy job. I was watching how our VP is troubling with finding all these ingredients. Whatever it is, he managed to have all the ingredients in level 1. So everything was done well, except a few hiccups here and there, but he managed to do the show. The timing of the meeting was almost, we clocked, I think 1 minute or so, a little bit late, but it was almost, timing was perfect. Our Sergeant of Arms opened the meeting and passed over to President. President had a small calling bell knock outside, so he wanted to stop or cut fast the opening ceremony and pass to the TMOD. TMOD, a well-seasoned Toastmaster, done a great job bringing Toastmasters outside Toastmasters. His aim was to give us how well or how we can fare, or we can use the skills we learned in Toastmastery outside wherever we go. And wonderfully, he was explained it very well. And I know that in the closing remarks, he will bring it, he will seal it very well. Well done, TMOD. And let me tell you, one more thing happened was, I got a chance before the grammarian to do the successful thing. So that was because of the technology failure. I got the chance prior to the grammarian, which is not at all practically good because the grammarian should do the work first before the general evaluator. So that was one thing I noticed. All the speakers and the evaluators, they were really up to the mark or over the mark to say. And all the flavors were brought in. More, this time it was more sugary coated or ice creams were there very well. All the speeches, even though there were no table topics, we enjoyed the session because all the speakers and evaluators, they done their job very well. So totally, we had a very good meeting with a very good TMOD, with a very good team and word of the day, with all the things there. Only few things I noticed was technological failures, which was little frequent with our TMOD because I noticed him frequently getting muted. I don't know what was the problem. So there was, when we use the technology or when we use this online platform, a little bit of, technique is needed. So finally, congratulate all the role players and all the speakers and all the people around, the timer, our counter, Hawkmaster, everyone to do their job very well. And VP, kudos to VP to bring in all the ingredients in place in time. Thank you, and back to TMOD.
Thank you very much, our General Evaluator. It's now time to do the voting for the best role player. And I would like to now call upon our timer to please give us the report regarding the best role player so that we can commence our voting.
Thank you, TMOD. All the role players are counter 3 minutes, 12 seconds. Grammarian 2 minutes. Hawkmaster 5 minutes, 40 seconds. And yes, myself, I did not time, so I don't know. And General Evaluator 3 minutes, 30 seconds, exact.
Okay, so everybody is in the time. And that was very convenient, not timing yourself. But we know when you're in Bhavans, you have always timed yourself. And as you can see, we are much ahead of our schedule. And that's how it goes with Bhavans Toastmasters Club. So let us commence our voting. And may I request our host to please populate the names with the role players for the best role player.
Yes, the voting ballot on your screen. Please kindly select for the best role player for today's meeting. I got the results. Thank you for voting the best role player.
Thank you very much, our host, Toastmaster Kundal. Well, as we said, we are ahead of time and we have our announcements. But before that, moving on to our theme. Like I said, Toastmasters outside Toastmasters. What I meant was, and which all of you have actually got, because when I was asking you where you apply the Toastmaster skills other than the Toastmaster environment. So what I wanted to share was the situations where we can apply our Toastmaster skills. Let's say this. It's a very common scenario, a very common situation, and this is what happens when we do not apply our Toastmaster skills in our personal life. Right? Same goes with another example of evaluation skills not applied outside the Toastmaster skills. But what we are looking for is the application of these Toastmaster skills. And that is basically appreciating the other person, listening to them, giving them a learning. And that's exactly one of the skills that we learn in our Toastmasters. Another scenario would be like this. I always love your beautiful smile. I appreciate your concerns. Let us discuss other aspects. And that would be a skill which is applied from the motivational strategies pathway elective project, which is lesson 1. So Toastmasters is definitely a guideline, which we have received. I mean, we are very, let's say, we are the few privileged ones who have received this guideline. And the point that I want to drive here is that we need to apply these skills, not just in this Toastmaster environment, which is a club meeting or a contest season. It can always be applied outside the Toastmaster environment. We can always use these skills for our betterment and becoming better leaders and better communicators. So let's say it's basically a skill which is learned and has to be applied. So it's something as simple as brushing your teeth. Every morning when you get up, you're brushing. I mean, it's a very simple skill which is learned. So here I would like to replace the skill instead of Toastmaster. I mean, a skill with Toastmasters. So this is just a very simple activity which we do every day right from our beginning. And then we also get more used to it by applying it in our later days of our life. But when we do not apply these skills, it would be something like this. This is a definitely no. And not applying Toastmaster skill is also something like this. So what I want you to do is, when you start your brushing your teeth in the morning, think about that. Where am I going to use these skills today? How wonderfully I can speak to my partner today. How nicely I can appreciate my colleague. Because trust me, the skills that we learn here, and I always thought that the presentation skill and then the listening skill was only required when I had a presentation in my professional area, or maybe in my office when I had to do a presentation and all this. But gentlemen, that's only 10% of the time that you are using that skill. There's a whole lot of 90% that is in your life, in your professional area, with your guy in the bakala, with the grocery guy, with the auto fellow. You can always apply these skills. And trust me, it always gives you better results and makes you, and it convinces you that you are better communicators and also better leaders. With that, we conclude our elaboration on the theme of our meeting, which is Toastmasters outside the Toastmasters. And now it is time to hand over the control back to our president, DTM Mahesh Iyer, for his remarks. Over to you, DTM Mahesh Iyer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. I see my president is not available, so I take an opportunity to be the acting or the presiding officer as of now. First of all, I would love to humbly, sincerely thank you for bringing us such a valued theme towards our meeting. Toastmaster of the Day, Vishal, I have a personal experience with you. I have learned a lot from you. You are such a humble person. I simply can't understand how much, if I say the other way around, I know that you have a lot of stress with regards to work. In respect of not responding my messages, I understand. But though after that also, over the weekends, you are busy in Toastmaster meetings. So which is, I really admire. sincere gratitude to Toastmaster Imran Rana, our guest from Madagascar, Lalania. You really all made this meeting really a fruitful, a salad full of ingredients which is necessary for a food for thought. So thank you very much once again. Let's move on to our tech host, Toastmaster Condal Reddy. Please, if you have results ready, and then we will take a feedback from our guest.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif, for giving this opportunity to honor our guests and today's Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you again on behalf of you are rocking today. So it's a smooth conduction of the meeting, and we all know the value of the Toastmasters, those outside Toastmasters. Really, I know that, and you are well explained that how we are implementing our skills into personal as well as professional development. So with this, I have the clear results, and with respect of my club president and VP Education, Toastmaster Latif, I am going to present the results. So it's the share of the screen. Yes. The stars of the day goes to. So I don't want to say he is the best speaker. Today, all the 5 speakers are the best speakers, and they given the fruitful messages and takeaway messages. It is wonderful. So, but all our audience is selected one as the best speaker, and he win their hearts. So these are going to the best speaker. Where is my icon? Yes. Yes, Toastmaster Imran Rana, you are all rockers, and you given very good humor and as well as nice message to all of us how to live with the failures and success. Failures after, definitely there is a success. Thank you, Toastmaster Rana, for your involvement in our club and giving the speech of best. So next goes to the best evaluator. Again, they're all clinical evaluators, and they're given much valuable inputs for each individual speaker to how to improve their speeches into next level. But one is the best speaker, which all our audience is selected. That goes to distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar Ji Revankar. Congratulations, distinguished Toastmaster Anil Kumar, for your best performance of today's speakerthon meeting. Then finally, last award goes to the best role player. So none of our loud, immediate, fast division director, Toastmaster Vishal Khan. Thank you and congratulations to your efforts to bringing a smooth conduction of the meeting of Bhavans Toastmaster 252 meeting. With this, I conclude the certificate presentation, and the stage is over to Toastmaster Latif Mansur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Colonel Reddy. Actually, I should appreciate your presence also. When you were on leave, I was really struggling with tech host also. Thank you once again, one and all. Congratulations, everyone, for participating, for highlighting everyone's, or to change a mindset, to bring your experience to us. May I ask Toastmaster Imran to share few words, few feedbacks of his graceful time to us. Thank you. Please, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kareem. First of all, sincerely grateful to you especially, and to the whole club, Bhavans Toastmasters Club, to give me this opportunity to deliver a speech in your esteemed club. And I thoroughly loved the theme, the way DTM Vishal took the theme. It was quite amazing, and all the speakers were quite amazing. All the speeches were thought-provoking. All the speakers were eloquent, and the way the whole speakerthon was conducted, it was a great learning for me. So congratulations, Bhavans Toastmaster Club, for conducting such a wonderful speakathon, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. For the audience interest, I just want to tell you, in Karachi, sir, just correct me, we have 3 speakers, right, who have selected for video, best video.
Yes.
From
Karachi Toastmasters, yes.
Those people who are not in district or who are not qualified in districts can submit their video, the top speeches, the first one in their club. They can submit their top speeches, and the winner announces by the Toastmaster International as the best video presented speech. And all these 3 speakers who are being selected by Toastmaster International over the years, Toastmaster Imran is behind everyone. Somehow his feedback, his promotion to, and you have seen this in his speech also. Now let me invite our guest from Madagascar, who we got to know through Toastmaster Karim. Toastmaster Lalania, please, if you can share your thoughts. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. Actually outside, I have to travel a little bit. So thank you so much for having me today. I enjoyed myself and I learned a lot of, I learned how important is listening skills. It's really important. We know that Toastmaster teach listening skills, but we do not know how to apply it in real life. So that was something that I couldn't remember. I could never forget throughout this meeting. The speeches were all amazing. I like the way you present your speech, the storytelling, the structure of the speeches, and especially the evaluation portion. So I would like to thank Karim for recommending your club. Thank you.
Thank you, and I really thank and wish you good luck from Bhavans Toastmasters Club in all what you do, success in all your projects, and mashallah, I see you a very young person, so I have a lot of good wishes to succeed and for your achievement of whatever you aim for. Now, I finally end this meeting or adjourn this meeting, but this recording is never ended. We can always stand and discuss. So those whoever have committed their time and all, they can leave. If they want to talk, we are available for another 10 minutes. The stage is all yours. I'll just stop this YouTube sharing link. Thank you. And once again, I appreciate your attendance in our club.